Hi everybody, this is Pitejo from Veil of the Ages, and today I will tell you about the game that has just been played between Kelvermore and that music writer. It was the last game in the United States division for our Meta Triangular League, and it was between the two heavy cavalry patrols of Essence of War, Makhar and Kingdom of Equitaine. Now, you've seen the Kingdom of Equitaine army already in the match against RH Wood Building, and the same thing for the Makhar army. Both have 2 units of cavalry, and then Equitaine has bowmen and Makhar has the large Carcadan head. Now, that music writer won the deployment zone. We were playing on map 5. He decided to take color teal, the one with the hill, so that he didn't have to bother with the hindering terrain so much, and he deployed with the 2 cavalries in the front. The lancers are closer to the impassable terrain, the archers are closer to the elevation, and then the character and the 2 Carcadan in the back row. To this, Kelvermore replied by putting the 2 cavalries wide apart and the bowmen with the damsel right behind the hindering terrain. So you see the disposition. Now the aspirants are in the north and the Knights of the Quest are in the south. Turn 1 for that music writer. No charges in the movement phase. He moves as such, spreads apart a bit and advances with everybody really. Advances a bit too fast for shooting, so there's no shooting phase. We go directly to the charge phase. Turn 1 for Kingdom of Equitaine. Kelvermore is not fooling around, it just charges the aspirants into the horse archers. Equitaine has Swift Stride in Essence of War. It's the only patrol that has Swift Stride, and he needed a 9 and he makes a 9. They're in, so in the movement phase, Kelvermore brings the Knights of the Quest outside of the line of sight of the lancers and backtracks with the archers by 2 inches. The magic phase is 3 versus 2. Not much can be done because the damsel is in the unit and is far away from everybody, so she can only cast Stone Skin on her own unit. The shooting phase, they try and put wounds on the lancers, hitting on 6s, so nobody dies. We go to the combat phase, and in the combat phase the aspirants go at the same time, same agility step with the horse archers, but it's carnage. They kill 4, so a whole rank, and the horse archers kill none in return, so they're not steadfast anymore. They lose the combat, they flee. They the aspirants decide to pursue. They roll higher, and they also roll high enough, so they destroy the horse archers, and they also roll high enough to pursuit into the Carcadans, so they declare a charge against the Carcadans, and they smash into them as well. Now, at this point, Makhar pass all the panic tests, so this is the situation at the end of turn 1 for the Kingdom of Equitaine. Charge phase, turn 2 for Makhar. The Gula goes on top of the hill and charges into the Knights of the Quest to keep them stalled, and then there's a pivot from the horse, the Makhar Lancers, which were potentially thinking of helping the Gula. At the same time, the aspirants are just behind them, and now it's going to be the combat phase for the for Makhar. So here is a screenshot of the Gula that just got in contact with the 6 Knights of the Quest. Now, in the combat phase, the aspirants, I mean, they're on a roll. They're already taken the unit of horse archers. They put 5 wounds out of 6 on the Carcadans. The Carcadan responds to attacks, doesn't do anything. It's fleeing, it's trampling its own wound markers. The aspirants decide not to bother pursuing that, and they pivot to look at the rear of the Makhar lancers. In the other combat, the Gyula goes first because the Knights of the Quest have agility 0, kills one of the knights and receives 1 wound in return from the remaining 5 attacks. So rank, charge, all the bonuses cancel each other out. It's a push. So this is the situation at the end of turn 2 for... no, actually, here you see that this is at the beginning of turn 2 for the Kingdom of Equitaine, where the aspirants charge the lancers in the rear, and the lancers decide for some reason to flee, and the aspirants decide to continue the charge against the fleeing horse lancers, and they make it. Swift stride, they had the extra advance movement, so they destroy the unit on the spot and they pivot so that they can look now at the back of the Gyula. We then go into the regular movement phase, where the archers with the damsel try and move forward, but even if they try, they're still not close enough to cast any meaningful spell on the combat unit. So in the magic phase, they just resort to cast some buff on themselves, but it even gets dispelled anyway. So nothing relevant there, nothing happens in shooting. And I think that we move to the combat phase, and there's only the combat with the Gyula and the Knights of the Quest. The Gyula kills another one, it's a second, but it takes 2 wounds in return, so it dies. And this is the situation at the end of turn 2 for the Kingdom of Equitaine. So this is the mid-battle. We go into turn 3 for Makhar, trying to rally the 1 Carcadan which is left with 1 wound, and the test fails. So the Carcadan goes exactly by the exact number of inches out of the battlefield, and that means that at turn 3, Equitaine can simply march with both units and put the 3 of them into the scoring zone. And so you see that the battle ends with 3 null, well in respect of the 1 hour of time. And that's it. That's the last battle in the US group. Kingdom of Equitaine versus Makhar, 3 null. And in any case, given the situation, Rob from RH World Building with the Sovereign Ancients was already ahead. It's still 2 points ahead of Kelvenmore because of the victory that Rob had against Kelvenmore in the direct match. And so this just concludes the group and gives us all some closure. See you next week with more battle reports from the remaining group, which is the German one.